So it's about 5 o'clock in the morning here at Pearson Airport. I'm getting ready to fly to New York for the Goshen sale. So last night we had 4 horses racing the Ohio Sires final. We had White Tiger and West 52nd racing the Wellwood eliminations. We didn't have Lawmaker race. He went right to the final of the Canadian Trotting Classic next week for 600 and some thousand, 660,000. And what else? We had some overnights race. Lincoln James raced well again. So we'll get right into it. So I guess the big news last week was Swandre the Giant being sold for $1 million US. And got beat last night, but looked a little uncomfortable. I saw him on the front end. I was second over tracking him, and when I rolled off cover, I thought I was a winner again. It was a deja vu of the Meadows. I rolled him 3 deep, and he just come up a little short on the end of it. Scoped him after, our horse scoped him after, and a little bit of mucus, a little bit of redness in his throat and some pimples. It's going around right now. We scoped a couple last week, and all 3 scoped the same way. So I don't think there'll be any Standard Break Canada headlines. White Tiger scoped sick, but he did scope a little bit sick. So I would say that's why we came up flat. I have no idea why Swandre the Giant came up flat. Obviously not the same horse that I watched race in Indiana all summer. So probably a little bit sick also. I guess they're going to have to get to the bottom of that. I'm sure Jimmy Jacker can do that, no problem. So yeah, Union Forces, a bit of an unknown coming in. Scott Zeron blasted him to the front, sat behind Swandre the Giant and attacked in the middle down the lane. I didn't quite get there, and he did. So I was beat 2 lengths. White Tiger was beat 2 lengths, tried a 56 flat, I think. Raced rather well. For him, raced really well. But was 3rd best last night. Swandre the Giant was 2nd, Union Forces 1. In the other division, West 52nd, come up a little bit flat. I had said in my email last night, you go under the wire. And he was beaten. He was 7th. He was beaten fair and square. And, you go into the wire and you're like, did I train him too hard coming in? Was he a little bit sick? Both, maybe, either or. Maybe he's just outmatched. These are the best horses in the world he was racing against for the most part, and was beaten 7th. So we did scope him again. A little bit of redness, mucus, same as White Tiger, but them's the breaks. I mean, that horse has had bad luck all year. Wrong place at the wrong time. In a weird break. His first start in Northfield, raced well. The 3 starts after that, and then I couldn't steer him his last start in Scioto. We got that fixed. He sat in the 2-hole last night. I'm saying to myself coming to the half, I'm like, I don't know how fast he can trot, but it's going to be tonight. We're going to find out. And he ended up trotting 57-4. He's beat 15 lengths, I think. Now, Green Manalishi that beat him is no slouch. That horse raced against White Tiger all year. Won his division at 154-4, so it wasn't like it was a slow division to begin with, but West 52nd was outgunned in the end. So, again, sent an email out. His year, I believe, is over. We'll turn him out, let him freshen up. When I warmed him up without hobbles on, I could tell that this is a horse that won't need the hobbles at 3. And probably would have benefited without them last night, but in the Meadowlands you can change it. You can pull the hobbles off him, but not here in Canada you can't. So he was forced to race with them. It's probably a horse that I probably would have taken them off last night to race him, because we needed all the help we could get, and he just felt so comfortable warming up without the hobbles on. But we had to race him with them on, and again, I don't know if that took away from his overall game, so to speak, but he was not as good as I would have expected him to be. So he ended up 7th and did not make the final. Obviously, we're not going to wait for the consolation. We're going to pull the harness off this guy, freshen him up, give him a couple months off, and bring him back. Aim for the 3-year-old Ohio Sire Stakes with him. So that is last night in a nutshell in Ontario. In Ohio, we had Oso Pine, who obviously, for those of you following closely, skipped his last stake when we schooled him. When we qualified him leading up to that stake, he had bled in the qualifier. A little bit of blood, a lot of mucus. We opted to put him on Lasix. We were in this situation last year with Wind Chaser. Did not put him on Lasix. He raced okay in the last stake race of the year, and then ended up coming back and being a bleeder. So, again, there may be more to that than just than not putting him on Lasix, but I wasn't going to chance it. We put him on Lasix, talked to Jason about it, and he said, yeah, I think we probably should. We put the horse on Lasix, and he was coming in short. So James drove him great. I was a little upset with the way the other horse was driven a little bit. Yes was coming in razor sharp. He had won his last start 157 flat. You know, as a driver, especially with a teammate, if you will, especially as a stablemate in the race, you know, you look left behind the gate. And I know the game plan was not for James to leave with the horse because he's raced better from off the pace. But if nobody's on the gate and they're going to give you the front end, of course, that's where you should be pointed. And yes, he really just didn't fire off the gate. And I don't know what happened, but I would think leaving the gate. And this horse that can leave, but you got to stir him up a little bit. You can't just let him float out of there. And he ended up 8th on the outside going into the first turn. And it's a bit unfortunate. I didn't get a chance to talk to. I didn't get a chance to talk to Josh after the race, but obviously, you know, the writing was on the wall. 10 steps out of the gate when you're getting away 8th on the outside in the mud, going for 275 against the best horses in Ohio. It's going to be tough to make up any ground, and there may have been more going on, I don't know, but by all reports and from what I could see, just didn't break well. So Oso Pine ended up 4th. A little tired down the lane, obviously. He was short coming in, but we did scope him after. No mucus, no blood, just a little tired. So he does have one stake left. We're going to be bringing him to Little Brown Jug Week. There's a stake for the trotters there, and he will be there racing. Yes, was not paid into that stake race, so his year is over. He ended up banking, I don't know, $70,000, $80,000 and raced really well. Just been the underdog of the year. The only time he missed the board in Ohio was last night. Ended up finishing 5th. So that was a little disappointing. But at the same time, again, that's racing. So both Oso Pine and Yes raced well. Both collected a check in the Ohio Sires final. Twinsburg got away well. James got her away well. Got jammed up behind of all horses to be stopping around Burke's horse. So Burke's horse back through them in the last turn, and James kind of wiggled his way out, and she finished up strong. Finished a very strong 4th, actually. This filly also has one stake race left in Kentucky. If we choose to take her there, she's also had a tremendous year. And I think if things had worked out differently last night in the final, she could have got to the winner's circle, at least been 2nd. Now, the only disappointment, real disappointment on the night was See You in Tuscany. To me, looking on the TV, he looked lame right front to me. He looked off. Jason said he had a good week. He was coming in good, coming in sharp. And then that wasn't what I saw last night in the video. In the race, he looked tired. He looked lame right front. And they said he was sharp after the race and walking sound. So we'll bring him back here. We may actually fluoroscope him to see if there's anything we should keep an eye on. But for the most part, his year's done. I know he hadn't raced a lot of times this year, but this colt was very, very sick in January and then got sick again in May. So the fact that he was as sharp as he was all summer leading up to last night was pretty shocking. Now, again, this is a horse that bled in the qualifier. We might have jumped the gun a little bit on the Lasix with this guy in the qualifier. He showed a decent amount of blood. Maybe, let's say, a 2 out of 5 at most. And we decided to put him on Lasix. We schooled him the other day, on Lasix. I trained him, I guess, on Lasix, no blood. And then raced him last night, no blood again. But some mucus and pimples and obviously some discomfort. So a disappointing end to the year, I suppose, for See You in Tuscany. But for a horse that we paid $9,500 for, that banked $42,000, not too shabby at all. So that's that. That's Ohio in a nutshell. Also, West 52nd obviously was here last night. Those 4 colts raced in the Sire Stakes final. Well, 3 colts and a filly raced in the Sire Stakes final. What else do we have? Stonebridge Simba broke his maiden in Philadelphia Friday night, winning in 158 in the mud. Did it well. Last half 58, last quarter 29 in a bit, I guess, maybe 28 in a bit. But looked really, really good doing it. And it was muddy out. He was on the right line a little bit, I noticed again, but looked sharp. So coming into either one more overnight and the Liberty Bell or straight to the Liberty Bell, he looks sharp. So very, very happy to see Stonebridge Simba take a 2-year-old mark also. Bay Jewel, she had left Indiana. She was in Ohio while we waited for her international health papers so she could cross the border. She's been jogging in Ohio. I actually might race her a couple of times, but I put her away. Obviously, I was very deflated and disappointed with the way her 2018 turned out. This is a filly I'd schooled in 159 before sending to Indiana, and I'm not sure she ever went back to that speed. So I was a little bit disappointed in that regard, but what are you going to do? That's racing, as they say. And she'll be coming home within the next... Actually, she's coming home today. Sunday morning, she is on her way back. Now the Illinois horses are rounding up their year. Holding Steady, we cut his year short a little bit. He looked a little tired, that colt. Big, strong colt. Looked a little tired his last start. You know, when you got a colt that's going to the gate in a stake race at 20-1, I'm not too interested in ending off the year out there with him in the same fashion. Excuse me. So there we go. So we simply put him on a truck and took Holding Steady home. He's home now in the field. He'll be getting turned out at Tommy Riley's barn, I believe, this week. So Holding Steady's year is done. Banked a little bit of money. Showed that he could pace 56. Showed a quarter or two in 27 seconds. Did what we needed him to do. Obviously, we'd like him to do a little bit more and be a competitive horse in the final, but it just didn't work out that way. We'll probably give him 5-6 weeks off and bring him back, race him a little bit in the winter in Mohawk. If he looks like he's going to be a contender in Illinois, we can head him back out to the stake races there at any point. Ivanka and Not an Angel are going to end up their year with one more stake race. It looks like Ivanka is going to head to the Consolation, and hopefully Not an Angel is going to be heading to the Sire Stakes final, the Night of Champions out there. To me, I think Rob and Angie did a great job. The kid that drove him the other night did a great job too. This is a filly that's been battling some issues, some soft tissue issues in her left hind leg, and looked tremendous the other night. Very, very quiet and relaxed, focused at the gate, reserved in the mile, finished up strong. Exactly what we want to see. Like to see her a little stronger in her next start, and then tight and sharp going into the final. And I think that is the trajectory for this filly, and that's exactly how she looks. So very, very happy with what I've seen from Not an Angel. What else do we got? Sales. You know, you're wondering why it's 4:52 in the morning here in Pearson Airport. I'm heading to the Goshen sale. Now, when you get this video, we'll have already bought horses. So I have no qualms in saying I hope one of them is number 57, Polly Walnuts. It's a horse that I really like, an Andover Hall colt. I'd love to have Gumby, number 110, in our possession at this point. And there's one other one. Oh, the one that I really want is number 95, Main A. Main A had a great video. Unless there's something wrong with this horse, this is a horse, when I get down there, this is a horse I really, really wanted and want. So as I'm saying this, I don't have him or them in my possession yet, but those are three horses I really want. The roan horse, Ship Shape Hanover, is a horse we're interested in. Mare's a little old though, a little bit old, so I don't really know what's going to go on there. I think that horse shouldn't bring any more than 14,000 this morning and this afternoon. So a little interested to see how that's going to shake down. We have a number of horses also. We're looking at Pacers. Ruslan Hanover, number 8, we're looking at. I like that horse very much. Special Graduate, number 11. Bottle Up Hanover, 16. Number 2, Bottle of Red. Like that one also. Conway Hall horse I like later on. Two of a Kind Hanover. I rather like that horse, number 29. Just a horse that caught my eye. And Redbreast Hanover, number 33. These are just some horses. Also the Roll with Joe colt that really I strolled onto his video by accident. For whatever reason, I don't usually look at Roll with Joe's, and I have no idea why. I don't have any dislike for the stud himself, but I just never ever find myself gravitating towards the Roll with Joe's. So Sojourner Hanover is the name of the horse, number 45. There's a number of other ones we're looking at, but 22 in total we're looking at today. But my top 3 picks, which I'll let you know right now, you're seeing it after the sale, I'm telling you before the sale. My top 3 picks are number 95, Main A, number 57, Polly Walnuts, and Gumby, number 110. Hopefully we can bring 1, 2, or all of those 3 home. That would be a good day for me. Also coming up is the Ohio Select Sale. Now, I'm going to try and run through the entire Ohio Select sale before or during our trip to New Jersey. Andrew Harris is going to pick me up at Newark, so we got an hour and 10-minute drive. If I can sift through and go over these videos again before my flight's over, or I get on my flight to Newark via to Middletown via Newark International Airport, then I'm going to try and get the Ohio Select sale done on the way down to the sale, and see if I can't get those out to you. But as of right now, we're going to focus on the Goshen sale today. Now, the reason I bring up the Ohio Select sale, there's a sale. Ohio's a place we did a lot of good business this year. You know, just to be clear and to clarify, we had 4 of the better horses in Ohio, and I think West 52nd could have been on that list too, had he had a little more luck. So I'm going to say 4 for sure, maybe 5 of the best horses in Ohio. And we did it with horses that cost $9,500, $12,000, $13,000, $16,000, and West 52nd was $24,000, $22,000, $24,000. But having said that, we can't do that every year. And for us to be relevant in Ohio, we're going to have to buy some good horses. To do that, we're going to have to spend some money. So I'm reaching out and calling out to our Ohio clients and people that are interested in racing in Ohio. We want to put some money together for next Friday. It's 5 days from now. The Ohio Select sale in Ohio, in Springfield, Ohio, I believe is where it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken. Now, we are going to, no, it's in Sandusky. I don't know. Anyway, we are going to be doing some real cool stuff on the day of the Ohio sale. We are going to be doing a live broadcast. We're going to be showing people what horses we're looking at, why we like them, maybe some other horses that catch our eye also, showing you the horses in person. And then we're going to be doing something real cool also. We're going to give you an opportunity to buy horses in real time online on our app. Now we're going to push our site and hopefully TheStable.ca.com. We're going to have pushes through the app so that no matter what you click on, it's going to take you to Shopify. And we are going to try and have 100 units, which would be 100 shares of each horse for sale on Shopify in real time. As we buy the horses, we're going to try and get them up to you as quickly as possible so that you can take a look at these horses that we purchased. And whether you like them or you don't like them, want to be involved with them or otherwise, we are going to give you that opportunity in real time. So that's some cool stuff that's going on next Friday at the Ohio Select sale. I'll be sending an email out Tuesday and Wednesday also, trying to drum up support for the sale. And the big news, the huge news, is New Zealand. It's been a long time coming, but September 17th, Amy and I will be boarding a plane and flying to New Zealand. We're speaking in 3 locations. I am speaking in 3 locations throughout the island, speaking with some trainers, some owners, some interested groups, obviously, that want to build fractional ownership. Not so much looking for clients over there as much as looking for people that want to emulate what we do. Emulate what we do here at TheStable.ca. For those of you out there, you know that we've grown to over 500 clients now, 526, something like that, active clients, and we've done that in the simplest way, giving you, the client, an opportunity to get involved in such a great industry at such a small amount of money. It really isn't that difficult a proposition for you or for the general public, and that's what this industry needs. Listen, I preach this a million times. You guys know the spiel, so to speak, and this is the way forward for horse racing. I truly believe that, and anybody that has watched what we've done over the last 3 years should believe that also. So those are the horses, those are the headlines, so to speak. I didn't miss, again, every week I forget to talk about our perennial pariah, it seems, because I never get a chance to talk about the poor bugger, is Cruising in Style. This horse has quietly become a strong horse. He's been an even Steven type horse all year, really banked some really good money, raced tremendous on Hambo Day when I drove him, and has raced fantastic in the stakes. This is going to be an extremely nice 4-year-old also. He's still a little frail, he's still growing. You know, his ass is still up in the air a little bit. He's still a little thin through the barrel. Put some weight on this colt, and he is going to be a force to reckon with as a 4-year-old. So, Cruising in Style is racing, I believe, Tuesday. Tough field, but I believe he's earned a spot in the New York Sires Final. So, just to look up at the scoreboard quickly, we had 4 in Ohio. We had White Tiger in Pennsylvania. It's the only horse we had there outside Simba and White Tiger. Both our Pennsylvania 2-year-olds made it to the Sire Stakes final. Even our Stallion Series horses made it, but we opted not to race them. Casanova's Jewel and Final Answer. What else? Illinois, we have horses going to the final, and New York, horses going to the final. So TheStable.ca well represented in our stake horses in 2018. I think that goes without saying. We created a lot of buzz, both you and me and the horses, and I think we've done a great job. So those are the headlines. White Tiger cruising in style. The 4 Ohio horses. Stonebridge Simba broke his maiden. The horses in Illinois. Holden Steady's on his way home. Is home now. 2 horses heading to the stake finals there. The sales, both today at Goshen, next Friday, Ohio Sire Select, and New Zealand. 2 days after that, I'm going to New Zealand. So, I'm going to come back in a minute. We're going to talk about all the stables, talk about all the horses. There's no point giving you a top 10 list at this point. You know who the real players are in the stable right now. Horses that we're looking to bring back, that are coming back strong for 2019 in the fall and winter of 2018. And then we are going to be we're going to be getting our horses prepped for next year's stakes also. So we get the sales today and coming up in the coming weeks and months. Heading into 2019, we have some horses that we're putting away for the fall. We have some horses that are coming back that are going to race in the fall and winter also. A lot of things going on at TheStable.ca right now and in the future. So if I look a little tired and dopey, an hour and 45 minutes sleep will do that to you sometimes. So I'm going to try and stay fresh for Goshen today. So I'll be back. We're going to run through all the stables. Kevin's barn, Jason's barn, Harry's barn, and Ricky's barn. Had some great races this week and some great races coming up. So I'll be back in a minute with everybody's barn.